Well, I want to thank everyone for tuning in to Boss Lady News. We've got a great show for you today. I'm super excited because I've never had actual characters in the studio. However, today we are going to be speaking with Israel Cook, and he is a children's book writer, and we're going to have some awesome characters for you to take a look at. Miss Johnson is going to be coming in. She has brought some wonderful dolls that she hand makes or custom makes for you. And Jacqueline Ortega, you all know her. She's the wonderful jewelry designer throughout Boston, Cambridge, and internationally that is making these wonderful chest pieces, head pieces, arm pieces. I mean, I can't wait to get my hands on one of them. With no further ado, as we usually do, we're going to go ahead and jump into some news with Miss Tayla Andrea. Let's go ahead and clap her on in. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Excited as usual. Have a seat. Let's get going because I've got some things to talk about, and I know you do too.
Absolutely.
So one of the things I wanted to discuss was Inspector Tech sent me an article about who actually has nuclear weapons. And it was great because the conversation we were having previously or the day before was everyone's going after the Middle East for nuclear weapons.
Yes.
However, the Middle East does not actually have nuclear weapons. The United States has nuclear weapons. Pakistan does have nuclear weapons. North Korea has nuclear weapons. Russia has nuclear weapons. And I believe the UK or the Ukraine has nuclear weapons. However, the Middle East does not have nuclear weapons nor access to nuclear weapons at this time. I'm livid because so much money has been put into nuclear weapons, terrorism, and what's going on in the Middle East with ISIS, which is also an American-formed alliance with Israel. And none of this money is being put back into the United States and or its people.
Weapons of mass destruction.
Mind you, let's not discuss the HARP, H-A-R-P. I know, I'm ready to discuss them. Okay, Illuminati's going to come after us pretty soon.
No.
But there's a weapon of mass destruction known as the HARP as well.
H-A-A-R-P.
Which people should find out more about.
Absolutely. Do your due diligence. H-A-A-R-P is a weapon that most don't know about, and it controls the weather.
Yes.
And a lot of people believe that it was the reason why Haiti had an earthquake and not DR. So do your own due diligence, but I promise it
will. As well as the tsunami that had hit in Eastern Asia that no one knew where it was coming from. There's crazy storms that are coming up the west coast of Africa, which also coincidentally I found out was the same, the wind that comes up the west coast of Africa, that storm that happens regularly was also the slave trade for the boats. That was interesting to find out too.
So you learned a lot.
I did. I'm excited. What you gonna teach me today?
So we're going to teach not only you, but the residents of Boston about what happened last week. So the BRA, the Boston Redevelopment Authority, which has authority all over the city, spent over $5 billion over the last 18 months.
$5 billion.
$5 billion over the last 18 months reconstructing the city of Boston. But have you seen any development, Dorchester, Roxbury, Mattapan? Absolutely
Besides
not.
gentrification, no.
Yeah. So we have 3 city councilors that voted against the BRA having eminent domain and zoning powers for the next 6 years. Those 3 city councilors, thank you, City Councilor at-large Ayanna Presley. Thank you, City Councilor Tito Jackson and Josh Zakum. The other 10 need to be reconsidered whether or not they're going to be re-elected because they gave the BRA eminent domain. That means you live in a house, guess what? I want it, I take it. I have to give you the money that is market for it, but I can take it nonetheless.
Wow.
So a minimum for 1 bedroom BRA apartment is $82,440, a maximum of $82,750.
Wow.
This is the minimum amount of money that you have to make in order to afford or be eligible for income eligibility, low income in a BRA building.
Yes.
And they blame it all. Oh, it's not our fault. We have no control over this. This is all HUD's regulation, and HUD regulates it on the area median income, the AMI, the area median income. Who do you know makes $89,000 a year?
No one that's currently living low income in the Boston area.
And that's affordable housing. $89,440 is the minimum you have to make.
Which is specifically
for a 1-bedroom.
Which is specifically why a lot of the Boston housing developments that are being redeveloped are actually shipping out a large number of people outside of the city, because low-income people are going to have to live outside of the city as opposed to living in the city. But you also need to pay attention to what's going on with public transportation, because as public transportation rates are going up, who's going to need public transportation? Not the people who are living in the city on their bicycles, but the people who are outside of the city now that used to live in the city, and they have to pay for rising prices in public transportation. Pay attention to what's going on. There's a 10-year plan that we knew nothing about.
That we still know nothing about. So one of the things that I would like to educate your viewers on is the Community Preservation Act. Nobody knows about this, but 45% of the state utilizes this act. So the Community Preservation Act helps communities preserve open spaces, historic sites, as well as create affordable housing. If we have 160 communities in the state of Massachusetts that utilize this act, why haven't our city councilors gone ahead and seen what it is they can do?
We're going to cut to a brief break. When we come back, let's finish that comment. We'll be right back. Thank you for staying tuned. Once again, we're going to get back into some news pieces. Let's finish with this discussion.
So we were talking about the BRA and the $5 billion they spent over 18 months redeveloping Boston, and the Community Preservation Act, adopted a couple years ago. Can we rewind that? It's taping.
Just keep going. I'll edit that piece.
Okay. 45% of the state utilize this act. That is 8,100 projects as of today.
Okay.
Why haven't our city councilors done their due diligence? Why isn't our state reps doing their due diligence? And speaking of state reps, Gloria Fox is the only African American state representative, female state representative, and she's leaving. What representation will we have when she's gone?
Well, that's when we're going to make sure you get elected into one of these seats, right? That's what we're going to do. All of you that are out there that are registered voters, and if you're not a registered voter, shame on you by this point, especially Boss Lady News audience. We need to make sure that we are holding our city council members, our state representatives,
our elected officials.
We're holding them accountable, because at the end of the day, what I've come to understand, and I was talking with Sultan, shout out to you, last night, and we realized if you don't own anything, you don't have a say at the end of the day. You can vote as much as you want, but if you do not own property, you will not have a voice. And if you do not register to vote and vote, you will not have a voice either, because by not voting, you're saying whatever they choose to do is what we're going to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So something else that's really important for your viewers to know is that 150 human-animal hybrids have been grown in the UK. Why is this important? This is important because just recently,
human-animal
hybrids. Absolutely.
So we're talking about like cartoons and stuff, like I'm thinking Thundercats and all that goodness. Oh my gosh.
You're thinking of things that your mind cannot fathom.
Absolutely.
Now the reason why this is important is because recently it has been passed that we will not have labeling on our food. Yeah, the Federal Trade Commission went ahead and has been fighting for so many years, and they finally won that your food will not be labeled.
Because we're waking up and we're paying attention, so they've decided to take the labels off. How the hell are we going to know what we're eating?
You're not going to know what you're eating, and you're not.
And you might be eating a human hybrid.
From the UK.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. For those who don't know, you could have up to 40 to 400 different cows in one package of beef.
Wow.
A lot of people don't know that.
It is so important to know what we're eating, because you are what you eat.
Absolutely.
From your head down to your feet.
But lastly, because I know we're running out of time.
Yeah, we're about to wrap it up.
I want to let your viewers know that families fighting for foreclosure are going to greet the federal housing director at Harvard Law School on Monday from 5 to 6:30. And the reason why this is so important, because what's going on with the BRA, what's going on with affordable housing, there is no affordable housing as of now. And so it's very important for us to make our voices heard, and for the federal housing director to come to Boston. He needs to know that we do not appreciate what's going on, and we need to make our voices heard. We can't sit here and complain anymore.
And protesting isn't doing it.
No.
Guess what? Your tax dollars, your money, where you spend your money, how you spend your money, cooperative banking, collaborating our funds, pooling our funds together and making a difference, that's what we need to do.
Absolutely.
Because if you don't own any property, how you spend your money is the next best thing.
Vote with your dollar.
Absolutely.
Vote with your lifestyle. Vote with whatever you invest your money or spend your money on is essentially how you vote.
Important. Okay, well, thank you so much. I can't wait until the next one. You all make sure you are tuned into Wake Up with Tayla Andrea every morning, Monday through Friday. Fridays is Freaky Fridays.
Better not bring your kids.
5 to 7 in the morning. She's got pertinent information for you all to find out about. We're going to cut to a brief PSA, and when we come back, we're going to talk with Israel Cook, and we've got some wonderful children's books for you all. We'll be right back.
Advertising? Well, contact Marie Furman, Elegant Living Directory. The great opportunity for you to advertise your business.
So tell me, kids, what does reading mean to you?
Thank you for staying tuned to Boss Lady News. Now we're going to get a chance to speak with Israel Cook, an old friend from school that I got back in touch with because I see him all over Facebook, and they just connected and I found out more. He's got some awesome books for you all to find more about. Israel, why don't you come on out here? How are you?
Wow. These burgers are just brown and juicy.
Why don't you have a seat? So, first, for the audience, I know enough about you. I know a lot about you. You and your brother, we went to school together.
Right.
But tell everybody, are you originally from the Boston area?
I am. I'm from Roxbury, and I was born here, and my parents actually had a school in Roxbury.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that part.
Oh, yeah, and it's still here. It's been around for 47 years.
What's the name of the school?
Page Academy.
Of course, I know
Yeah.
Page Academy.
Yeah.
What a wonderful school.
Yeah.
And they deal with ages from K up to 6?
Up to 6th grade.
Yes. Oh, amazing. Shout out to Page Academy. I got a chance to
Definitely.
find out more about them and the wonderful programs, and they focus very much on cultural history and
Yeah.
allowing the kids to learn more about that, because in the Boston public school system and most public school systems, they don't really teach history anymore, let alone people of color, whether it's Asian, Spanish-speaking, or African history. So shout out to Page Academy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and you know, Page Academy was basically gave me the background to do what I'm doing now. Like you said about them teaching me about culture, and so what I'm doing now with the children's books are, taking that culture that I learned, taking those lessons that I learned, and creating it for people who are not as fortunate to have gone to a school that teaches about diversity and culture.
Yes, and I'm so excited to find out more about your children's books because I have 2 little girls.
Oh, wow.
And well, my oldest is 15 now, and my 7-year-old, but there really weren't any books that looked like them. There weren't any characters that looked like them, and Princess Tiana is just recent, within the past maybe 5 years that she's been out, that Disney created her, and prior to her there was Jasmine. But you've got like this wonderful plethora of cultural princesses.
Yeah.
So what kind of made you really decide to do this?
Well, the same, I have a daughter who was 6 at the time, and the same thing that you were going through, I was going through, and so many parents go through the same thing. And so what I saw with my daughter was that she loved princesses like a lot of little girls do, but she didn't see anything that looked like her, any true diversity in the characters. And so even with Princess Tiana, that's one character out of they have like 16 different characters, and I think 18 of them. And when you buy a coloring book that's Disney princesses, for instance, she gets maybe 1 or 2 pages out
Absolutely.
of an 80-page book.
Yes.
And so it's not showing true diversity. There's also so many different skin tones of black and so many different skin tones of just people. And so that is lacking in the world, in the princess world before I came along. And so that's what inspired me to really, to really start to say, hey, I can't wait for Disney. I can't wait
for someone else to do it.
Yeah, company to do it, and we have to be able to represent ourselves.
Absolutely.
So, and the more I talk to parents about this, or people that had kids, they were having the same problems no matter what race you were, whether you were Spanish, whether you were Chinese, whatever you were African American.
Yeah, Mulan. Disney only has Mulan for the Asian speaking people, and there's so many other languages in Asia, along with the fact that in Africa there are so many languages in Africa, and there's no representation for Africans as of right now. However, Princess Tiana is to cover that range.
Right. Yeah, there actually were no African princesses. There were no in the Disney genre. There were no Caribbean princesses or princesses from from India. They had Jasmine, but Jasmine is actually from the Middle East, and they dressed her up to look Indian.
Oh, wow.
So they didn't even do their research on the characters that they do have to actually get them to look like they're supposed to look.
Exactly.
And that's something that I really wanted to do. So I've created 16 characters from all over the world, and each one of the characters is based off of a real woman.
Oh, wow.
So we made sure that we counseled and talked to each of the people that created the princess character to make sure we got the hair, the facial features correct.
So were all of these women, were they all? So I guess, with the story of Tiana, she was poor and she found a prince that she ended up kissing and turning into a prince because he was a frog and he was a bad guy.
Yeah.
And then, with some of the other princesses, for like Mulan, she, was aspiring to be more of a soldier. So were the princesses, did they all have similar battles, similar fights with the characters that you created?
The characters that I created, they are a little different. I think, some people were not so happy about the fact that the only black princess, and Princess and the Frog came from, a poor house and only was a princess because she had to marry this other guy, and
she had worked really hard and didn't understand that love is what would make her a princess.
In so many cultures, there have been princes and kings and queens for hundreds and hundreds of years.
Yes,
and,
dynasties, decades.
Yes, dynasties and decades. And I mean, you can go down all the way down to Egypt and the pharaohs of that time and the kings there.
Yeah.
So I mean, what's being represented is not what is actually the history of the world, and so we want to make sure that we change that.
Absolutely. We are going to get more in depth and meet some of these characters because we got a chance to bring some of the life-size images in, and we're going to cut to a PSA, and when we come back, you all will get a chance to find out a little bit more about them, as will I. Okay? We'll be right back. Thank you for staying tuned to Boss Lady News. You all know you can always catch any previous videos on BossLadyNews.com, as well as going over to my Facebook, where we have wonderful conversations with you all and where you're sending me plenty of information. However, there is also BossLadyNews@gmail.com, where you can let me know about wonderful people that I should be talking with, or events, or whatever is going on throughout the New England area. And shout out to everyone who's in the other states that are kind of tuning in. Shout out to Chicago, shout out to Florida, and now Africa, South Sudan. We're going to get a chance to speak with a princess of our own on our next show, so make sure you're staying tuned. Now we are in studio with Israel Cook, and we're going to go ahead and meet some of these characters.
Sure.
Why don't you all join us? So I am just amazed with these wonderful characters that you had a chance to bring in. And why don't you kind of let everyone know who these ladies are?
Okay. Well, I'm going to go down the line. We have some of the characters. We have 16 in total, but we brought some in the studio. So this is Princess Isabella, and she studies biochemistry. She is from Cuba.
Oh.
And she also loves to dance. She's
Okay.
a big salsa dancer. This is Princess Nulu. Princess Nulu is from Uganda, and she is into animal preservation. And she can actually listen and talk to animals.
Oh, I love it. Like Dr. Seuss, Dr. Dolittle.
There you go. And so she has a great story with the animals. This is Princess Nia, who is actually based off of my daughter. And also my cousin, my cousin is a ballerina, and at the time that my daughter was 6, she wanted to be a ballerina just like my cousin.
Oh, wow.
So we created Princess Nia, who is 8 years old, and she really loves to dance, and her goal is to be the greatest dancer alive.
Oh, I love it.
And so then we have Princess Ami here.
Princess Ami. Princess Ami kind of looks a little bit like me, doesn't she?
She does.
Oh.
Princess Ami has twists in her hair, and she's from Sierra Leone, and she's actually a politician, and she wants to be president.
Oh.
Princess Pacha is from South America, and she is all about, she's into figuring out what makes a perfect kingdom. And
What makes a perfect
what makes a
kingdom?
perfect kingdom. And so she travels doing exploration to figure out what makes people happy and how to create her perfect kingdom.
Oh, I love it.
This is Princess Elena from Romania. She is a fairy and actually based off of a real princess in their mythology, in Romanian mythology. And she is a fairy, and she loves the air, and so she's into air conservation because she wants to make sure that when she flies around, there's no pollution.
Absolutely. We need her. We absolutely need her, especially right now.
This is Princess Hui from Shanghai, China, and she loves any type of ancient art, especially from her country. So she goes and tries to share art that she's found with everyone. So she collects it, and she also likes to take pictures of places and palaces and show the world all the beautiful art that they may not see.
Absolutely. Wow.
And this is Princess Helena.
Helena.
Yes.
Helena looks like my daughter.
Oh, wow. Princess Helena is from Ethiopia, and she loves medicine, and she works really hard to make sure that all of her, everyone that's in Ethiopia is cared for.
Wow. Well, it's amazing what you've done, and I've got to ask, although I do not have young men myself, but will we be seeing some stories about some kings and princesses, prince soon?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I started because of my daughter, and so it was really just me trying to find characters for her. But when I talk to people, they're like, well, what about my boys? And boys need to know that they are royalty as well.
Absolutely.
And they need to have characters that they can look up to and inspire to be.
Yes.
So we are definitely going to do a boy line eventually, but we really need people to grab onto this and keep on supporting us so that we have the finances to
Absolutely.
continue.
And where and how can people find out more about the books, and where can they get the books from?
You can get the books from the online, princessplanet.com.
princessplanet.com.
So you go to the shop of princessplanet.com and you can learn all about, well, first of all, you can learn all about the characters there as well. But you can buy the books, you can get them on Amazon as well. And all the social media is there, Facebook, Instagram, everything, Pinterest.
Nice.
So you can also, you know, be a part of the conversation. And we also have a GoFundMe page on the website. So if you go to Princess Planet, you can donate as well.
Nice. And I want to make sure that you all are definitely checking out more on princessplanet.com, because if we're not supporting our own culture and our own books, then oddly enough, other people are supporting our culture and our books. However, your children are only going to learn what you teach them. So hopefully you're teaching them more than what they're learning in the schools, because the schools are being required to cut down and focus on their own curriculum. We are going to cut to a brief PSA. Thank you, Israel, for coming on to the show. I hope we can have you back.
Yeah.
And when we come back, we're going to talk with Miss Johnson. She brought in some wonderful dolls that she hand makes and or customizes for you. We'll be right back.
Are you a minority business looking for advertising? Well, contact Marie Furman, Elegant Living Directory. The great opportunity for you to advertise your business.
Thank you for staying tuned to Boss Lady News. I feel like I'm a kid in a toy store. I've got such wonderful items all around me, and I hope you all please make sure you're finding out more about these wonderful people. Now we're going to get a chance to speak with Miss Johnson, and she creates these beautiful dolls or customizes a doll for you. Why don't you come on out here? Hi, how are you?
Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Yes.
Please do have a seat. And as usual, we normally try to make sure we ask where everyone's from, but I can't stop smiling because these dolls are so cute. I'm like in love with them. So, okay, are you originally from Boston?
Yes, I am. Born and raised all my life.
I love it, and I love your earrings.
Thank you. I got them from a Kwanzaa celebration a couple of years ago.
Oh, Kwanzaa. People are
Yes.
finding out so much more about
Yes,
Kwanzaa, so I'm
yes.
so excited for you to have mentioned that. But, okay, did you always know you were going to start customizing dolls?
No, I didn't.
No?
I always loved dolls since I was a little girl. I always wanted to collect them. I'm actually a collector of dolls.
Okay.
So I do collect dolls, yes.
And what made you decide to start customizing these super cute dolls?
Well, I have a self-esteem program called the Dollhouse Corporation.
Okay.
Doing our best. DOLL stands for doing our best, opening our minds, living our lives while loving ourselves.
Okay.
And
I'm gonna have you say that one more time.
doing our best, opening our mind,
Yes.
living our lives while loving ourselves.
Oh, amazing.
Yes.
Okay.
So dolls, I use my dolls as a tool to uplift our girls in our culture, because black dolls rock, black girls rock, so black dolls rock.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So I started thinking that a lot of the dolls, they don't have natural hair. Some do, some don't. So I started, you know, turning their hair into natural hair, natural curls, Afro puffs. Some do come with Afro puffs, but my logo is basically like the one up there is Black Dolls Rock.
Oh, I love this one. I had to put her up here. And I love the shoes. Oh my gosh, like everything is super customized.
Yes.
How long does it take you to do what you do and style one of these awesome dolls?
It usually takes between 8 to 12 hours.
Okay.
Yes.
That's an all-day thing.
Yes, it is.
Now, if someone's interested in purchasing one of your wonderful dolls, how would they get in touch with you? Where would they go?
They would go to blackdollsrock.com.
Okay.
Yes.
And go ahead.
And from blackdollsrock.com, they can hear all about the program. They can hear about the dolls, what they represent, and what my star logo represents, which my star logo represents. There's a star in the gem. The gem stands for the beauty inside every girl, and the star stands for how they shine on the outside. So they'll learn about that, and then they'll be directed to another link, lanadollcreations.etsy.com.
Okay, where they can go ahead and grab their
Yes.
dolls.
Yes.
Now, it's interesting that you have a program that helps to uplift the young black girls also. And that is really important because society has already explained and told young white girls that they are beautiful, that they are models, that they are and can be anything that they choose to be. And one thing that I just want to make clear to all of my audience is right now we're in a time when we are noticing that the self and physical and educational services for young people of color it doesn't suffice. So we're coming up with all of our ways of being able to uplift and really change the mentality of the young people. So I just wanted to make that clear. And it's funny, they've done tests. I don't know if you got a chance to find out about some of these, where they will have young black children and young black girls choose between a white doll and a black doll, and most of the time they will choose a white doll because that doll is considered beautiful.
Right.
And so tell me why. Oh, she's so cute.
Yeah, she's adorable.
She's
my
adorable.
favorite.
I'm like in love with this
Every
one.
time I make a doll, I say, oh, I'm going to keep her.
I can't focus. Okay. So tell me why and how the program is going for the young ladies.
Well, funding is an issue. So we meet when we can. It's going okay. It can get better. But the children that are involved or have been involved, they are very excited and they love the program.
Good.
It's the self-esteem boost. You are beautiful. You are intelligent. You are smart. No matter if you're light or dark, if you're heavy or not, you are beautiful.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I think it's incredible that you had the energy to put this program together, and that you had the energy to even customize and specialize in natural looking dolls. I'm so excited to keep our conversation going. We're going to cut to a brief PSA, and when we come back, we're going to find out more about the workshops and the programs for the young ladies so that we can get more people interested and more people involved in the program, okay? We'll be right back. Thank you for staying tuned to Boss Lady News, and we are here with Miss Johnson. I'm going to let you introduce yourself, because I keep saying because we're both Johnsons.
Yes.
And Johnsons are amazing, I must say.
They are.
I'm going to let you go ahead and introduce yourself to everyone.
Actually, my name is Janice Johnson, and I do refer to myself as Royal Black Doll 1221-1. There's a group of women, we get together, the Love Black Doll Initiative, and some have numbers. Those are my sister dolls. The ones with numbers, mothers have passed on.
Okay.
So 1221 is December 21st, my mother's birthday.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot going on with dolls, used as tools to uplift in all different kinds of ways.
Yes.
So we as women, we get together, we take pictures, and we put them in a community and things like that, you know, because with ages, colors, weight difference, and stuff like that. So to show our girls that no matter what, you're beautiful.
Absolutely. And an interesting fact that, or story, article that I had came across was a Target. And this particular Target had actually raised the price on the black Barbies. And the white Barbies were a regular price. But for the holiday, they raised the price on the black Barbies because the media and the corporations, major corporations, are starting to notice that people of color are starting to identify and look for products that identify with them.
Right.
So with your program, because we do want to get more young ladies interested and involved, what are some of the things that you do with them, and how do you utilize the dolls specifically with them?
Okay. First, I would like to say all the dolls are customized, and there's always only one. I make one of these, one of her. So each girl can say, oh, this is my doll, like me. Different, like, you know, not the same. All little girls are unique. So each doll's unique to them. So we had in the library, Carbon Square Library last year, all the dolls were in a display. And this was part of the program. The girls would go and visit and write down what they liked about each display. There was a doll in a display that was a lawyer. There was dolls in a display that was a rock band, ballerinas, and each doll had a book so that would match what they were. So they would go around, that's what the program does. So we took a field trip down to the library after I set all the dolls up. They were down there for like 30 days.
Okay, wow.
And it was amazing.
We need to get you into some schools.
Yes.
All right, any educators out there, any school programs, after school programs, we need to get Miss Johnson and her doll program into your facility. And we're going to make sure that, once again, people know how to get in touch with you. How can they get in touch with you?
Well, you can call me directly, 857-991-3281.
Say it one more time.
857-991-3281.
And I love what your program is doing. And of course, just like I asked with the books, the children's books earlier, will we be seeing some young boy dolls to teach young men also how to take care of their dolls?
Absolutely. Everyone asks that. And it's just about cutting the hair, styling it like the boys, and dressing them.
Absolutely.
Yes, for Adidas and Jordans, and you know, and then some suits.
Absolutely.
Some bow
with the bow
ties and some ties too. Absolutely.
So we will have you on again, and we'll have some young ladies that have joined your program, okay?
Absolutely.
We're going to get a chance now and speak with Miss Ortega, Jacqueline Ortega, and Jacqueline Ortega's Jewelry. She's got amazing pieces, and I want you all to get to know more about her. We'll be right back. As we always do, we always make sure that we know to go to our social media, let me know about anything going on, email bossLadyNews@gmail.com. Our last guest is Miss Jacqueline Ortega of Ortega Jewelry. You all, let's make sure we go ahead and clap her out. How are you? It is so good to finally have you on.
Yes, thank you. I'm happy to be
Jacqueline
here.
Ortega
Yes.
of Ortega Jewelry.
Yes.
I've had a chance to run into you so many times.
Lots of times.
And, okay, are you originally from Boston?
Yes.
You are?
Born and raised.
Born and raised. Good to know. And what got you into the jewelry, the world of not just buying jewelry or accessorizing people, but you custom make jewelry?
Yeah. It was purely accidental. I just was really into accessorizing myself and wanted to have a different outfit than anybody else. And I know it all comes down to what kind of accessories you have. So that's where it kind of started from. I just decided to pick up things when a necklace broke one day that I took home. Figured that I could do a better job myself, so that's what I did, and it kind of just evolved from there. And it kind of turned like 5 years this year, actually. So
Oh,
it's
congratulations!
exciting. Thank you.
And I know you've been selling in different locations as well.
Yes.
Out of the Blue in Cambridge is one of the locations where people.
Yeah, that's actually my
have
permanent space now.
Oh,
I've been there
wonderful.
for about 4 or 5 months, and it's been a real blessing. It has.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
Now, you specialize in larger pieces also. What made you kind of transition from like the small dainty jewelry that you can buy anywhere to these almost like gaudy pieces?
Thank you. Well, I wanted to create something on a bigger scale because I noticed some of the jewelry during fashion shows kind of gets lost in translation with the clothing. And I just wanted to showcase my talent on a different, a larger scale, I guess you could say it, because
people don't have to wear anything. They can wear your accessories and officially and be
I wanted to capture, the eye, and I came up with the idea of constructing clothing, mainly bra tops and halter tops, into heavy metal apparel. That's what I like to call it.
Heavy metal apparel.
Yes,
okay.
yes. I just wanted to show that I can do more than, this basic, jewelry that I create every day for the everyday person. But also custom costume pieces.
Do you see yourself designing for anyone specific? Because of course, like you said, heavy metal apparel is entertainment.
Yeah.
It definitely can be seen in the entertainment world. Did you feel like, okay, well, I want to make pieces that can be seen on such a higher
Well, I'll just
scale?
put it out there. I'm a big Lady Gaga fan. I wouldn't mind if she wore my stuff.
All right, Lady Gaga's people, Boss Lady Britt Johnson, we need to connect with you and get some of these pieces
put
onto
it out
her.
there. No, I'm just an artist by heart, a creator by heart, and I just love making things, and I love to see people get happy and excited when they see the things that I create, because I get so much joy out of creating it myself that if it brings joy to others, then I guess I'm doing my job right.
Absolutely. And again, I guess, when you were younger, did you see yourself being a person that was creative like this, that was, interested in working with your hands like this?
Yeah, I've always been artistic and creative from a very young age. I come from a family who creates many different things as well. I just dabbled in all types of arts, but it wasn't until, I had a whole bunch of beading kits when I was young, but I never took to any of it.
That's like the typical gift that's given to little girls.
I remember one Christmas, I think I had like 4 that was given to me, and never used any of them, but I guess, as I grew up and I just wanted to individualize my style more, that's where, creating my own accessories came to. And I just did it for myself, but when other people started, complimenting and asking if I could make things for them too, I mean, how can you say no?
Absolutely, yeah.
And it just took off from there. So.
It's awesome to see other people wearing your pieces. And your website, let everyone know about your website and how they can get there.
Okay, so it's OrtegaJewelryDesigns.com. It's sort of an online portfolio right now. The shop's not open yet, but it will be soon. Until then, I do, orders. People can contact me, however, OrtegaJewelry@gmail.com. You could visit Out of the Blue Gallery in Central Square. That's 541 Mass Ave. Twitter, Facebook, and
fashion
Instagram.
shows.
Yeah,
yes.
Fashion shows.
You're in all of the fashion shows.
I'm working on a big show. I'm waiting for the clothes to come in. So as soon as the clothes come in, they're coming from the UK. I'm sorry, not the UK. They're coming from that area.
They're
Europe.
being shipped from overseas.
Yeah, they're being shipped from overseas. So as soon as they come here, then I can actually put out a date. But I'm having a Mad Tea Party fashion show.
Oh.
So it's Wonderland inspired, and one of the pieces that we'll see in a moment is one of the pieces that will be in the show.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look at one of your custom pieces that we got a chance to put onto a model. Yay. This is my model officially. So explain this to us.
Okay, so this is inspired by Wonderland, specifically Alice. And I wanted to do a combination of your classic Alice, but I also wanted to do the fierce warrior Alice. So this is my warrior Alice look. It is a dragon scale sleeve made up completely out of aluminum scales. If you turn around, you'll notice, I don't know if the camera can come in, but these are a mirror finished scale. So they're all covered right now with this protective film just to protect it, from scratches or anything like that. So the day of the show or photo shoot, they will be removed. This took approximately 6 hours to make, all by hand.
Wow.
You look at the back side, you'll see
amazing.
All the individual rings I've had to open and close to connect all these. And if you bring your arm up, I left it open because this is still a work in progress. I do like how it looks just so, but I'm gonna add like a ribbon to do like a corset lace up.
Okay, yeah. I kind of like it open. It gives you the freedom of letting it move.
But she has a space there for, the armpit. There won't be anything there. And it'll have the comfort lace that'll tie at the end. And then there'll be a second piece here. So it's gonna actually go all the way to the hand.
Oh, so we don't have to worry about getting full sleeve tattoos. We can just get an armor piece and be able to wear that. I like that a lot better also, just in case.
Thank you.
So when you think about the pieces that you've made, you've also done head pieces.
Yes.
You've also done, like you said, the bra pieces or the halter tops.
Yes.
What brings you, besides Lady Gaga, what brings you to the moment when you decide what you're going to make?
I'm a big Game of Thrones fan as well.
Love Game of Thrones.
So that was a big influence on me, as well as The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings. Fun fact, the place I get my materials from is the same place that provided the scales to designers who created the armor that was in the movie. So it's the same costume quality,
Amazing.
armor.
And if I'm ready to order one of these pieces, how in advance do I need to let you know?
I would say 2 to 4 weeks.
Okay.
If I have the scales in stock, and I usually do have a good abundance at home just ready for me to work at it, I'd say 2 weeks. If I have to order the scales because I don't have them on hand, then I'd say 4 weeks.
Okay. 2 to 4 weeks.
So
I definitely do want to get one of the headpieces that I've seen you and your wonderful models wearing also.
Thank you.
So once again, how can people get in touch with you?
Yes, so you can visit my website, and if you want to be put on my email list, you could just fill the contact information out. You'll automatically be put on my email list, so that's Ortega Jewelry. designs at Ortega Jewelry.
For the website.
For the website. no, Ortega Jewelry Designs for the website. OrtegaJewelry@gmail.com
For the email.
for direct emails.
Gotcha.
Either way, just Google Ortega Jewelry, you'll find me.
Please do Google her. I got stalked in Google. I love it. This is amazing.
Thank you. This took me 6 hours to make. And another component of the Warrior Alice look is this tiny piece here. This is another work in progress, but these are much smaller scales. Same process to put them together. This took 45 minutes to put together, just this here. But this is going to be part of the top that I'm creating for her as well.
Wow.
So the same look.
I
It's
love
gonna be
the
fun.
detail and the time spent. Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, it could be a little therapeutic, you know. I have to take some breaks every once in a while because, you know, my hands will get cramped from, you know, doing all that handwork. But I like to get in the zone and it makes me happy.
Absolutely. That's what's important, is that we're doing what we like to do that makes us happy, and we make money off of that. So we are going to go ahead and end the show. I hope you all enjoyed the performer from earlier today, because now they're going to go ahead and take it away. I will see you all next time, and make sure you're staying tuned to Boss Lady News.